Voting to the president's post took place today in a contest between NDA's Rupee Murmu and joint opposition candidate Yashwant Sinha. It appears that the former will possibly win with a comfortable majority. 4,800 elected MPs and MLAs voted to choose the next president. Counting of votes will take place on the 21st of July and the next president will take oath on 25th of July. In the latest, Mohammad Zubair, a Congress MLA from Odisha, went against the party line and voted for the NDA candidate Rupee Murmu. Meanwhile, presidential candidate Yashwant Sinha has levelled a game of money allegation.
मैं एक पॉलिटिकल लड़ाई ही नहीं लड़ रहा हूं। आप सब जानते हैं कि मैं सरकारी एजेंसियों के खिलाफ भी लड़ाई लड़ रहा हूं। इसमें सरकारी एजेंसियां बहुत सक्रिय हो गई हैं और राजनीतिक दलों में तोड़फोड़ करवाने का काम कर रही हैं। लोगों को इस बात के लिए बाध्य कर रही हैं कि वो उनके पक्ष में वोट डालें और पैसे का भी खेल हो रहा है।
Meanwhile, the opposition leaders held another round of meetings to discuss the vice presidential elections. Margaret Alva, nominated by the opposition for the post of vice president, was also present in the meeting. Speaking to the media after the meeting, Margaret Alva said she is ready to take on the challenge.
I thank all of them for the trust they have reposed in me. I know it's a difficult battle, but in politics, winning and losing is not the issue. The issue is fighting the battle.
And in its reply to Parliament, the centre has once again batted for a crypto ban. Actually, the Finance Minister didn't bat for a crypto ban. The Finance Minister, in a written reply, said in her statement that the RBI has advised legislation banning cryptos, but they can't make a decision unless there is global collaboration to prevent regulatory arbitrage.
This was a written reply in the Lok Sabha to which the Finance Minister has responded surrounding cryptocurrencies, and essentially the question was with regard to the legislation on cryptos and whether there was any timeline and whether the RBI has in fact registered its concerns over cryptos. Now essentially the reply says that yes, RBI has in fact registered its concerns over crypto, saying that it is of the that cryptos should be prohibited and that the government should come up with a regulation or a legislation if affecting that. However, Finance Minister does then go on to say that by definition,
as the downward spiral of the rupee continues, with the rupee hitting yet another record low, the Finance Minister has said that global factors such as the Russia-Ukraine conflict, soaring crude oil prices have led to weakening of the Indian rupee. She's also added that the RBI is constantly monitoring the situation.
Now, this comment comes in on a day when the rupee has yet again hit another record low, very close to that 80 mark at this point in time to the dollar. But essentially, a number of reasons being given as to why the rupee has been depreciating like this. Remember, this started when Russia's invasion of Ukraine began, and since then, the rupee has seen multiple record lows. And the other reason, of course, the war led to a spike in commodity prices, a hike in the crude prices, which has all been contributing to the fall in the rupee. However, in this particular response, Finance Minister also says that currencies like the British pound, the yen, the euro have all weakened against the rupee. They've fallen more than the rupee. So effectively, the Indian rupee has strengthened against those currencies. However, that is not true for the US dollar, which has been getting stronger. Also because remember, US, the inflation is extremely high at that there. So of course, the Fed has in fact hiked rates more. So that has made the dollar stronger, and that has resulted in funds also flowing out of India as well. So a whole host of reasons as to why the rupee has been falling. However, the reply also says that RBI is monitoring the situation, has already taken steps, and more steps could be taken going forward as well.
In the wake of a string of technical incidents, including various airlines, the civil aviation body DGCA has now laid down stricter rules for the big airlines in the country. DGCA has issued stricter norms for aircraft maintenance engineers. The DGCA's own findings reveal a lacunae in aircraft maintenance engineer standards. This after Civil Aviation Minister Jyotiraditya Scindia held a meeting with senior officials of Ministry and the Directorate General of Civil Aviation on Sunday over such incidents that have been reported for the past few weeks. The minister had sought a detailed report from the officials that had said that passenger safety cannot be compromised. Earlier today, Union Minister Jyotiraditya Scindia chaired a one-on-one meeting with heads of airline companies and reviewed flight safety norms. The Civil Aviation Minister issued instructions to each airline to take steps at all levels to enhance security surveillance.
Well, yes, the DGCA has now, in fact, come down very heavily as far as engineers are concerned, and saying that several of these incidents are related to engineering that have been reported in recent days, and that's why they've made it extremely strict as far as engineers are concerned. In fact, they will have to have more strict norms in terms of how the aircraft is inspected as far as the various categorizations of AMEs are concerned, and also in terms of how there needs to be a very basic minimum level of tools as well as engineers at all aerodromes as far as release of aircraft in particular are concerned. The DGCA also found several lacunae amongst the existing manner in which aircraft are released as well as the engineering standards are maintained, and therefore it has brought about these fresh norms which will ensure that there are stricter engineering parameters that are put in place as far as the release of aircraft are concerned, so that there is no issue with the aircraft that are ultimately going to go into the air.
And 14 people have been killed after a Maharashtra-bound passenger bus fell into the Narmada River in the Dhar district of Madhya Pradesh. Speaking about how the tragedy unfolded, the bus left from MP's Indore city in the morning and was headed to the Jalgaon district in Maharashtra when it rammed into the railing of a bridge on the national highway situated close to the Dhar border. It then fell into the river. As per officials, the bus was over 10 years old and its fitness certificate was about to expire in about 10 days.
Yeah, absolutely. Loss of even a single life is quite sorrowful here. The question of losing 14 lives. In fact, no one is alive in this whole accident, which is quite tragic one. You know that we can say that rescue operation is completed, but search operation is still going on because 2 bodies are still not found, and 12 bodies are already found just after the accident. This bus moved from Indore to Pune. In fact, in between that Khalghat area where an old bridge constructed on Narmada River suddenly for overtaking some vehicle, it's being expected and supposed to the reason of accident, and broke the railing of the bridge, and bus fell down into the Narmada River. So this is consequences of what we can understand. We have lost 14 lives. Definitely the specific compensation has been announced by the Maharashtra and Madhya Pradesh government respectively, but we understand that compensation can get back to those lives which have been lost in this accident. This is quite a tragic accident of Madhya Pradesh, and today few other accidents also recorded in many parts of Madhya Pradesh, but this was the biggest and tragic Monday for Madhya Pradesh when we witnessed a kind of tragic accident there in Dhar district where 14 lives lost in this accident.
And the alleged suicide of a class 12 student of a private higher secondary school led to violence and rioting in the Kalakuruchi incident of Tamil Nadu. The incident took place at Chinna Salem on the 12th of July. The 17-year-old girl left behind a note alleging that she was under undue pressure and was tortured by teachers. The situation in the area continues to remain tense and Section 144 has been imposed. Earlier today, cops had produced all the accused before the local court for rioting in a private school near Chinna Salem. The accused have been sent to judicial custody till the 1st of August. A total of 278 people, including 22 minors, have been arrested by the cops. Meanwhile, the family suspects foul play and alleges that there were injury marks all over the girl's body. Chief Minister Stalin, on the other hand, has called for peace and assured speedy investigation of the case. He's also warned that those acting against the law will be punished.
இருந்தாங்க நாங்க ஓடுறோம் எந்த இடத்துல இருந்து எங்க பாப்பா விழுந்தா காமிங்க நாங்க பார்க்கணும்னு சொல்லக்குள்ள அவங்க வந்து ஒரு பிளேஸ காமிச்சாங்க 3வது மாடியில இருந்து விழுந்துட்டு அப்படினு அந்த மாடியா இல்லங்க அதுல வந்து 2 இது கட்டில் கடந்தது அத பாப்பாவா தனிப்பட்ட முறையில ஈத்துட்டு வந்து அதுல நின்னு ஏறி பாப்பாவால ஒரு ஆள் அந்த கட்டில உள்ள இருந்து நவுத்திட்டு வந்திருக்கவே முடியாதுங்க அப்புறம் விழுந்ததுமே பாத்தீங்கன்னாக்க இப்படி அப்படியே இந்த டிஸ்டன்ஸ் தள்ளியே விழலங்க விழறவங்க குதிக்கிறவங்க வீழ்ந்தவங்க அப்படியே ஒரு இது சமநிலையில வீழற மாதிரியே வீழ்ந்தாங்க. அப்படி வீழ்ந்தவங்களையே கூடங்க நான் போயிட்டு பாப்பா ஃபர்ஸ்ட் பார்க்கக்குள்ள ஸ்ட்ரக்சரில் இவ்வளோ ரத்தம் இருந்ததுங்க. ஆனால் பாப்பா இந்த இடத்த தான் வீந்தான்னு சொல்ல இடத்துல ஒரு சொட்டு ரத்தம் இல்லைங்க.
மன வருத்தம் ஏற்படுத்தும் வகையில் கள்ளக்குறிச்சியில் நடந்த சம்பவங்கள் அமைந்துள்ளன. கல்வி நிலையங்கள் ஒவ்வொரு பிள்ளைகளையும் தங்களது சொந்த பிள்ளைகளாக நினைத்து அவர்களை பயிற்றுவிக்க வேண்டும். மாறாக நடக்கும் எந்த செயல்களாக இருந்தாலும் அவர்கள் சட்டத்தின் முன் நிறுத்தப்பட்டு தண்டிக்கப்படுவார்கள் என எச்சரிக்கிறேன். இந்த சோகமான சூழலை பயன்படுத்தி கொண்டு சிலர் சேர்ந்து சட்டவிரோதமாக நடந்து கொண்டுள்ளார்கள். வன்முறைகள் என்பது வளர்ச்சிக்கு எதிரானவை என்பதை அவர்கள் உணர வேண்டும். அமைதியான தமிழகம்தான் அனைவருக்குமான தமிழகமாக அமையும் என்பதை அனைவரும் உணர வேண்டும். நம்முடைய வளர்ச்சிக்கு மிக முக்கியமான காரணம் நமக்கு இருக்கும் மொழி பற்றும் இன உணர்வும்.
மாணவியுடைய பெற்றோர் உயர்நீதிமன்றத்தில் வழக்கு தொடர்ந்திருக்கிறாங்க. அந்த வழக்கில் நீதிபதி அவர்கள் அவருடைய கருத்தை சொல்லியிருக்கின்றார். தமிழகம் அமைதி பூங்கா என்ற நம்பிக்கை போட்டி போட்டுவிட்டது என்று கருத்தை வெளிப்படுத்தியிருக்கின்றார். அதோடு பல்வேறு கருத்துக்களையும் நீதியரசர்கள் தெரிவித்திருக்கின்றார். போலீசார் யார் கட்டுப்பாட்டிலும் இல்லை, சட்டத்தை முறையாக அமல்படுத்தவில்லை என்றும் குறிப்பிட்டிருக்கின்றார்.
And the NEET test in Kerala on the 17th July turned into a bizarre and humiliating experience for young women and girls who appeared for it at a private educational institution in the Kollam district. In fact, it was just shocking. They were forced to remove part of their undergarments to be allowed to write the exam. Yes, a student who appeared for the exam has complained to the police that she was asked to remove her innerwear before entering the examination hall. The girl alleged that many other students were also forced to remove their innerwear, even though the dress code set by the National Testing Agency, which conducts the examination for medical schools, does not require the candidate to do so. The girl complained to the Kollam police through her guardian. Meanwhile, Kerala Higher Education Minister R. Bindu, who earlier called the incident unfortunate and assured a probe, has now written to the Union Education Minister Dharmendra Pradhan. The Kerala Minister has asked the Union Minister to take strong action against the NTA, the National Testing Agency that was entrusted with conducting the exam.
Girls, who were about to attended the exams was forced to remove their inner garments forcefully by officials. What steps are going to be taken against them, and has it come to your notice, and what is going to be the next action against the officials?
I consider this as a very unfortunate incident. The officials were employed by NTA, National Testing Agency. We are planning to write letters to the central government and the concerned agency NTA in order to prevent further incidents.
And the top court today agreed to hear Alt News co-founder Mohammad Zubair's plea on the 20th of July, who is seeking to quash 5 FIRs lodged against him in various districts of Uttar Pradesh. The Supreme Court also directed that no precipitative steps be taken against Zubair in connection with the 5 FIRs lodged against him in the state for outraging religious feelings. The top court issued notice to the UP government and posted Zubair's plea for quashing of the FIRs for hearing on Wednesday. The apex court also observed that it seemed to be a vicious cycle where the moment Zubair gets bail in one case, another FIR is lodged against him. According to the Supreme Court's order, Zubair cannot be arrested by the UP police under any of these 5 FIRs filed against him. Let me go across to Harish to understand more on this story. So effectively, Harish, what is the status as of now? Because Zubair has been given bail in some cases, but will he continue to be in custody?
Yes, that's right. The only relief for Mohammad Zubair is that as per today's Supreme Court order, the UP police cannot take any precipitative action against him. That is, no further action on these 5 FIRs, and no new FIRs can be lodged against him. But he is in custody in most of the cases, and since the Supreme Court has refused to grant him interim bail today itself, it means that he will remain in custody, and so Supreme Court has said that only till day after tomorrow, the Supreme Court hears his plea for interim bail, no precipitated action can be taken, and this, though his advocate Brinda Grover pressed for immediate interim bail, Supreme Court has said that since the matter is not on board today, it can only issue notice to the UP government, and only after listening to the UP government's view, such an important decision like interim bail can be granted. So
all right, thank you for that. Thank you for that, Harish. Next hearing is on Wednesday. Now, in what is best described, and it's clearly